Hello everyone, William here. I just had another great conversation with another guest. Would you like to come in and listen in on the conversation we had? By the way, feel free to share it with anyone you feel may find it of interest. Come on, let's go listen in now.
Bobby Assadourian, it's great to have you back in my studio.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
We chatted last time about your business and the things that you have going on in your business and the rights and fights that you have for the people in the community with the seniors.
Many of them.
Being ripped off, and how to find out if your contractor is a genuine contractor and is licensed. And during our interview, the last thing that we spoke about was that you had an announcement that you were holding off on until you were prepared for it. And being a man of your word, you called me and said, I'm ready and I need to sit down again. So here we are. And I'd like to ask you, what is the announcement that you have for us in the community, Bobby?
1 hour ago, I was at City Hall, Hamilton. I officially registered for the Hamilton 2014 elections for Ward 3 Councillor.
So you're going for Councillor of Ward 3?
Politics.
Oh, very good. Good for you. Good for you. Well, I wish you the best on that.
Thank
Bobby.
you. Thank you.
Where is, and it's Ward 3?
Yes, correct. Ward 3.
Ward 3. Very good. And I noticed in some of the documentation that you gave me that you have a passion for making a difference.
Yes.
What are some of the opportunities that you see that you can make a difference in the community as the councillor for Ward 3?
Everybody complains about politics. Everybody complains about politicians, including myself. You know, I've gone to bat for a lot of homeowners, and there's a lot of cases where different policies in city or in government or cutting the red tape would help new business ventures. I really believe, you know, the key there is my integrity, my reputation, and a lot of passion. I plan on bringing a new level of communication to the ward by literally, and I mean this literally because I love the exercise, pounding the pavement in my steel toes, going door to door, not only now, not only now during the elections while I'm running, while I'm a candidate, but once I become councillor for Ward 3, I'm not going to stay, I mean the suit will be brought to the office in the morning, but I'll always have the change of clothes, something comfortable, and I'll have the steel toes. Because I believe in doing the march. I believe in engaging the residents, literally going door to door. You know, if they want to just chat out front or if they want to invite me in for a coffee into their home or business, I'm going to be there to listen to them, their issues, their complaints, changes they want. I'm a listening device. I'm going to bring that to council in a loud and a passionate voice to try to get these changes brought to the table and try to make their lives easier. That's my #1 responsibility. It's to the people. It's not necessarily to the red tape and the politics that I'm very certain that I'll be entangled with. My job's to the people.
What are some of the issues that you know are in Ward 3 that you would like to address?
#1, specifically at this point, because of the snow we've had, I mean, this winter's been terrible. I see some inconsistencies in the wards and in the balancing act. At this moment, there's too much fighting between the wards. We're one community. I don't care if you're in the core downtown or if you're out in Stony Creek or up in Ancaster. One issue we've had, I believe if I recall in the media, we've had seniors, mainly seniors, breaking their hips on the snow, on the ice, you know, hurting themselves, having heart attacks. This has been a tremendous issue. And then when the plows go by, and I'm not blaming the plows, but there's ways around this. When the plows go by, they block people's driveways, and a lot of these seniors can't get out of their driveways. If you live in Ancaster, I believe they pay a little more on their property taxes, a tad more. All city sidewalks are shoveled. You don't get that anywhere else in our great community of Hamilton other than Ancaster. So I plan to bring a motion to the table to correct this. My point being, my goal would be that in every ward in our community, especially my ward, Ward 3, but across the board, everybody snow is shoveled from all their sidewalks, not just Ancaster. There's I take a lot of issue with that. Not just Ancaster, and if we can't have that, then I'm sorry to say, I don't think any ward or any suburb or any area within the greater Hamilton community as a whole should have their sidewalks shoveled and other areas not. So either do it for everybody or do it for nobody. So that's just one item there, and again, based on the time of year now that really comes to my mind that's in the mainstream media. #2, and again, this also falls in the seniors, and again, this goes into what we talked about last time. I truly want to really fight for the rights of seniors. I want to implement programs and ways to help seniors and help keep them in their homes, aging in their homes longer. Now, whether it's developing or a continuation of a Snow Angel program, something to the effect of massing volunteers, having a flag system that's put out on the lawn or put out by this senior. Because again, with politics, you can come up with a good idea, but then there's the abuse. So here comes the red tape. How do we protect the system from being abused, from just lazy, healthy people wanting to get their driveways cleared or their sidewalks done? So we have to have a process in place that will legitimately identify that these are seniors or these are people with medical issues. We'll develop some type of a Snow Angels program or work to further whatever's existing, where we can have these homes identified, and then we can have volunteer groups go out, clear their driveway, clear the sidewalk, and even get back and backtrack back there after the plows come and clear the ridge across the driveway. Other programs, you know, we can work with Vaughan, we can work with community agencies. I have a great deal of experience with seniors where they have to eventually sell their homes, downscale into an apartment or a nursing home. There are ways we can make their homes more accessible. Again, that's back to my contracting experience. There are programs we can bring into effect or build on existing ones where the seniors have more nursing care, more in-home service, whatever it takes. See, these people have paid their dues. You know, they're veterans to society in a way, so to speak. We're not only clearing the snow, but we need more in-home nursing. These people shouldn't have to get to the point where they lose their homes and they have to downsize or they have to move into a nursing home. So I want to help them out in whatever way I can. So another item also on the agenda is our youth. Now again, I must state to your viewers and to everybody, I don't know how, these are my aspirations as an honest person. I don't know how much of this I can do at the municipal level or how much of this I have no control over that's a provincial item. But being in council, I can still contact the right players, the right key people at the provincial level and pass them on my ideas and suggestions. This is all about a coalition. You get enough people together about an idea, and we get this to the right people at whatever level of government, it can and it will be done. So as far as the youth, they're our future. I've worked with the IEC, Industry Education Council. As a contractor, as we discussed last time, I have at-risk students that would be co-op through my contracting business. So I do have experience with these youth, and I think a lot of the wrongs in society and to better ourselves as a whole can be, we can start picking at that at the high school level. So I don't know exactly what we have to instill there, but their work does have to be done there. And I'm sure whatever I can do at the municipal level, I will do. Anything else that's beyond me, that's at the provincial level, I'll do my best to contact the right people. Also, specifically with Ward 3, big issue with boarded up businesses. You drive up and down Barton Street, you're going to see it everywhere. Now again, I don't know how much of it I can do at the municipal level. I'm sure I can do something. I can try to affect some change. But we need, and this can be done at the municipal level, we need to cut the red tape out of the way. I started my business in 2003, and I can tell you, Bill, it wasn't easy. There's a lot of red tape. I navigated through it. I studied through it. I mean, I'm a busy bee that way. I love to study. Many others that aren't as savvy at studying, there's resistance at City Hall. There's always been. Whether every year I go in to renew my license or when I opened up my business, it's not as welcoming as it can be. And the proof's in the pudding with all the boarded up buildings. So I will do everything I can as a councillor to get the plywood off the buildings and get people in there and get business moving into Hamilton. Final item, you know, at least for the moment, we still have a long time in the campaign trail for me to further study this. But another item also is crime in the area. You know, it is an area that unfortunately in Hamilton, I'm not going to say one of the highest crime rate, but is definitely what I would believe one of the top areas for crime. We have to do what we can to lower crime, whether it's to work with the Police Services Board or whether it's to put together. You see, I'm coming up with these ideas. I mean, we think of, and we've all heard of the Snow Angels. I like to come up with something like the Rangers. Obviously the police, they do what they can, but we also need volunteers, and I would like to call them the Rangers. Designated groups of volunteers in different areas that will work with the police, because really it's the homeowners in Ward 3. It's the people that live there that truly know who the criminals are or what alleyways the criminal organizations are operating out of, or what's going on when the sun goes down. We need those people to come forward. We need them to work as rangers or volunteers and work with the police authorities to make it a safer ward. That's very important.
Finding the root of the cause.
Exactly.
Is really a great place to start.
Exactly.
Right? And to your point about business and whatnot, I know that in the city there are various areas that have a business improvement organization that work very closely, I believe, with the city in order to improve areas. You've got Ottawa Street coming up. You've got Locke Street that's improved. You have all these opportunities. So when I've spoken to some people who are developing businesses in Hamilton, they say there's tons of opportunity, and
Yes.
City Hall works very well with them as long as they stay informed and don't just go create an operation without documentation, without pulling the right licenses
Yes.
for the projects. And,
Yes.
and the city's quite
The information's
willing
there to
help
be found.
To be found.
It's
You
very
just need to
important.
know the questions to ask. So educating people would be a great thing.
Well, I'm open to work with all these organizations. First and foremost, the Chamber, the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce, different organizations. I'm willing to open dialogue with them and to be there with them and to gather and bring people together and learn what the in and outs are, what the licensing requires, what paperwork you need, where you can obtain help in not only starting a business, but having it flourish, to clean up the ward, so to speak.
Sure. I noticed as well on your website that you have quite the availability stream, which is something I'd like you to touch on as well, how available you will be by
Yes.
phone, emails,
Yes.
and approachable you'll be to people who are in your ward.
Well, just like it says on the website, I always believe people shouldn't really veer too far from who they are. Be yourself. I mean, we've all heard that. To engage people and to help them, that's in my nature. Now, as far as being, in a suit and tie, that's fun. I enjoy it. But I'll even more enjoy, I'll wear this at City Hall doing my duties there. But again, I will always have the change of clothing. I'll have the steel toes because that's my trademark, so to speak. That's how people in Ward 3 know me now. I'll have clothing that's a little more comfortable, and I will pound the pavement. Again, it all comes down to availability. Again, this is a new experience for me. I don't know exactly what the hours will be for me at City Hall, how many I have to designate to be in the office or to be at council meetings, but I'm very certain there will be a certain amount of time that's allotted, as it makes sense, for me to visit constituents and be with them. And I call that pounding the pavement, taking the steel toes to the streets, meeting with people, engaging them. If they want to come down to my office at City Hall, that's fine. To get in touch with me on the website, my cell phone number's there.
Right.
They can call me 24/7, 7 days a week. I can't promise I'll return every call that moment, but I will return every single call. That's a promise. They can visit me. I'm across the entire spectrum of social media. They can tweet me, Twitter. They can visit me on my Facebook page. They can visit me on LinkedIn. And I also have an election page on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. And actually, this will be the first video put up there. So I am a very easy person to reach. I enjoy to be engaged by people, and I will do my best. I'm careful with my words. I don't know what exactly I can promise that I can do at the municipal level, but what I can do, I will do. What I can't do, I'll contact the right people at the provincial level.
Right. You also mentioned in your website that you're a true resident.
Yes.
Can you define that for me?
I spent 30 years of my life in Ward 3. I grew up in Ward 3. I've played street hockey in Ward 3. I've ridden my bicycle through almost every alleyway in Ward 3. My mother still lives in Ward 3. My mother-in-law, my sister-in-law are in Ward 3. And my business has a great deal of a base of operations in Ward 3. I have homeowners in Ward 3 for the last decade. Whether it's a roof, whether it's a kitchen, basement, or bathroom, I've worked on it. That's why it's very important, if you notice, and I've been asked a lot about this, why on earth would I wear a suit and have my photograph on my election website in front of a pickup truck with a yellow ladder over my head? Well, again, it's branding. I'm not the man in the suit, although I can wear it in interviews when I'm out being the advocate, helping and fighting for people's rights. But day in and day out for a decade, especially in Ward 3, when people see that ladder and they see that truck, wow, he's worked on our home. It's very important.
Well, Bobby, what else would you like people in the community to know about you?
I really truly want people in the community to give me a chance, not based on my rants and raves, based on my impeccable reputation. And that's very important. You see, in the last 10 years, I didn't know I'd be here today. I've been paving the path, building to today. without even knowing it. People in politics, and with the greatest respect to the other candidates running for my ward, people have to look at this. It's like peeling the layers of an onion. Look at this take this to a psychological aspect. Think of it this way. Politicians or people that want to be politicians, number one peeve everybody has about them is they're going to say anything to get themselves in office, meaning they're going to lie. Look at somebody's past. The past is important. You know, they always say don't dwell on the past, look to the future. That's all fine and dandy, but I still believe no. Go back into the past, look at somebody's history, look at their reputation, judge them, analyze them, because more than likely, that's who they're going to be tomorrow. You know, zebra can't change its stripes, or whatever that analogy is. Right. So what I say to all the voters, what I say to everybody, the election website, type me into Google. You can spend 24 hours researching me on Google. I come up everywhere, and I'm very proud of that. My company has an A+ rating with the BBB. It's always had that. I've never had a customer issue, no problems at all. When you look at my website and you see my history and what I've done, I'm a proud man of accomplishments. What I say, I do. I count my words carefully. That's what you want in office for Ward 3. Judge me on my impeccable name and my history, meaning that my election platform and what I tell the residents and the constituents of Ward 3, what I say I'm going to do, I am going to do. That's how you judge me.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Bobby.
Well, thank you.
Busy, man.
Thank you very much. I'll be out of this suit in 20 minutes wearing steel toes and a hat and working on a basement.
Well, I wish you best in the future.
Thank you. Thank you.
As well.
And we will do this again.
All right, we will. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Have a great day, Bobby.
You too.
Join us. Catch the bug.